All right, we're live today. It's Friday, and you know what that means? It's time for Stop Being the Best Kept Secret, where we are going to be talking about SEO success for manufacturers. We're going to talk about Heady Cup and how they partnered with IMEC, Illinois. I'm one of your co-hosts, Damon Pistolka. That pretty guy right there, far over to that side of the screen, is Kurt Anderson. He's going to take it away from here. We're going to have some fun learning about Heady Cup Coffee and IMEC and how they work together. Take it away, my friend.
Man, Damon, dude, we got a full stage here, so we got a ton to unpack. Let's just dive right in. Happy Friday, everybody. Do us a favor, drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. We want to get connected with these guys on LinkedIn. We've got 3 powerhouses on stage. And so let's, you know what, we're all baseball fans here on stage today. Yep. So, Michael, you're going to be batting first, my friend. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready to rock and roll?
Kenny Lofton was one of my favorite players, so I'm ready.
Kenny Lofton, man. Drop the mic right there. So, all right, Kenny Lofton, that's a great name. Saw him live a few times. All right, so, Michael, give us a little background on Heady Cup Coffee Roasters. Who is Heady Cup? Who's Heady Cup? How are you guys making the world a better place?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Michael Kivland. My business partner, Kevin, is on the call here as well. So Heady Cup was Kevin's brainchild idea. Kevin has been roasting coffee for about better part of 10 years. Started roasting out of his, Kev, you correct me if I'm wrong, but out of his basement and garage, roasting for friends and family, sending them off. People became a hit with people. And Kevin had a highly successful career as a salesman. I had a highly successful career as a salesman, but it's probably safe to say we both weren't doing what we loved, even though we were, financially stable and successful in our own separate industries. So Kevin started Heady Cup. He sent me a picture of this logo behind me one day in a text, and I said, "You're doing it?" And he said, "I quit my job. I'm doing it." And about 10 days thereafter, I drove to work and rode my bike home and joined Heady Cup the next day.
That's awesome.
We've been
and David, there's a lot of great details behind it. So Michael, so let's all right. So I just want everybody to kind of just savor the flavor, pun intended, right? Just kind of savor what we're hearing here. But this is just they have one of the best origin stories. It is so inspiring. So, all right, let's, I'm going to go around the horn. Let's do introductions. So we've got Michael Kivland, one of the founders. We've got Kevin Fogelsong. What a great name that is. And then we've got our dear friend Mike Flynn from IMEC, Illinois. That is the Manufacturing Extension Partnership in the great state of Illinois. Mike Flynn, how are you today, dude?
I'm great. It's great to be with you guys. Thanks.
Man. Thank you. I know you're.
And I'm a Cubs fan, so you start off with the baseball thing. I'm a Cubs fan, so I was really happy in 2016, but it's not been so good since then.
Don't get once in a century. That's plenty, right? Once in a century. That's good. So, all right, we're gonna come. We're gonna hang it tight for this origin story. So, Michael, we have a little question that we'd like to ask our friends. As a matter of fact, we have a couple questions. So, I have 3 different questions, Damon, for our opening. Okay. So we're going to be diving in, talking about Heady Cup Coffee Roasters. But before we go there, I'm going to get into the background a little bit. Michael, when you were a young guy growing up, little guy growing up, now, Kevin, Mike Flynn, I have a totally different question for each of you, so just be prepared. But Michael, who was your hero growing up when you were a little guy? When you're a little guy growing up, who was your hero?
I mean, my dad, and besides my dad, which is an obvious answer, my hero would probably be Michael Jordan. But
Michael Jordan, great,
hard workers, determined people, ask no quarter, give no quarter type of guys. Don't ask for broader shoulder, or don't ask for a lighter burden, ask for broader shoulders. So I think hardworking people, that's what inspired me as a kid. That's what I kind of gravitated towards. And that's if I'm going to follow in someone's footsteps, I want them to be, a man of respect and
nice
of certain qualities that I admire, and hard work, determination, ask no quarter, give no quarter, all those things I started with. Those are all things that motivate me and things I aspire to be. So I think and they're both named Mike. So we got a couple Mikes. My dad's named Mike, and you got Michael Jordan. So it was easy to get inspired by a Michael. So
hey,
that was probably nice. Yeah.
Phenomenal answers, man. I'll tell you, Michael Jordan, greatest, and we're coming into March Madness. That's a wonderful answer. Thank you for sharing. And Dad's name was Mike as well. Are you junior?
I'm not a junior. And
not a junior. Okay.
Michael as well, and he's not a junior either. So we all have different middle names, but
got it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So big shout out to the Mikes for heroes. Now Mike Flynn, I'm coming to you, dude. I'm coming to you with a completely different answer. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? You ready for a different?
Well, it depends on what the question is. I might want to go back to Michael's, but you give me a shot.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't have a different question for you. Who was your hero when you were a young guy growing up, Mike Flynn?
You know, it was good to think about. So actually, I had an uncle who worked for International Harvester. He was an engineer, and I was kind of in that vein already. But man, he took me under his wing and, you know, poured into me. So that started kind of a yearning in my heart to receive that, but also give that out to others. So he just set a great example. I remember tearing apart engines with him, and, you know, he'd take me out and show me stuff in his garage when I was up there. He's a farm guy. So just a great background, but somebody that pours into other people. And there are a lot of those kinds of folks. And then I just aspire to do that as well myself. So.
Well, I'll tell you, apple didn't fall far from the tree. Mike, as we've gotten to be friends this year, and I'll tell you, and you know what? Since we're here in public, Mike Flynn sent me a book. As a matter of fact, Mike, I have the card right here. When you sent me the card, I can't tell you how much it meant to me. And he sent me a book for the year, and I read it every single night before I go to sleep. I like it. So, Mike Flynn, what a dear friend. Hats off to you. Awesome. What was your uncle's name, by the way? What is your uncle's name?
Gary Wells is his name. Yep.
So, all right, apple didn't fall far from a tree. And what I love is, you know, what's a common theme here? Like two guys, Mike and Mike on Michael's side, your Uncle Gary, two people just, you know, dedicated to helping others, and just what great role models. Kevin, I'm not very original, my friend. I don't have another question. What is your hero as you were a little guy?
I guess I'm not going to be very original either. So just thinking it through, I'd say my father as well. The work ethic that he installed in me, and just the respect he has for other people is something that I was fortunate enough to grow up with a strong father. So that's someone that I always grew up to and looked up to, and I think those qualities have kind of shaped the company as well. It's both something that me and Michael have installed in us, a very hard work ethic. So we know nothing's going to be easy for us. So we attack every day like it's our last here. And then myself, I'm a first-time expectant father too. So my hopes are that my son will look up to me just like, you know, I look up to my father.
Awesome.
So
wow.
I'd say my father.
All right, Kev, what's your dad's name, please?
My dad's name's Kurt, actually.
What a great name, man. All right. Well, hey, big shout out to Kurt there. So, and how about congratulations?
Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause for Kevin being a first-time dad. How cool is that? I know, Mike Flynn, how many kids do you have?
3 kids, 11 grandkids.
3 kids, 11 grandkids. Michael, I know you've got three folks in your crew, right?
I have 3, yes.
Yeah, and Kevin, be the best decision that you ever made, man. Best decision that you ever made is fatherhood. So congratulations to you, Kevin. Let's keep you on stage while you're going here. I know it looks like you're busy, but let's go here. So, Dad Kurt is your hero. Now I know you were a fierce baseball player back in the day. I want to go back in time a little bit, talk about baseball a little bit, how your career, and then let's go into like how you guys had this corporate career, because I want to lead back up to your origin story of how you started the business. But go back a little bit, like your baseball career, and then how you started your career right after college.
Yeah, sure. So I started playing baseball. It's probably one of my first memories is T-ball. So it's something that's always been a part of my life. Being a part of a team, trying to lead by example is something that I think was a benefit of being on a team so early in my life. So that's the same, again, like that same kind of mentality we try to bring over to the company too. We're all a team here. Everybody's contributions lead to our successes. But yeah, I played baseball my whole life, played throughout high school, was fortunate enough to go play in college as well. I did have a rotator's cuff injury though. So my baseball career got cut a little bit shorter than I wanted it to. But that's just, I think, taking again, like that same kind of attitude that I would take towards baseball and started putting it towards different avenues in life. So I wasn't able to further my baseball career, but I was able to, bring that same passion on the different aspects.
Awesome. And all right, and Kev, before I let you go, how what did you peak out at with pitching? What did you hit the clock at?
So, I mean, I wasn't like a flamethrower by any means. So I was able. The hardest I ever throw was 91, but I was more like 3/4 arm. So my ball had movement on it too. So it wasn't just I wasn't just trying to throw it by people.
He had a major league slider. For sure.
David, Mr. Modest. I didn't throw real hard. It was only 91, right? So this is so Kev, I absolutely love that. So all right, Damon, it looks like we got
some things, but real quick, Kevin, I've tried to catch 91, and catching 91 is not easy. Hitting it is not. I mean, for most people, it's it's a lot. But we got Harry stopping by today. He says happy Friday. Thanks for being here today, Harry. Love it. Diane Byer here today. Thanks so much. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by today, Diane, and dropping the comment. And then we got Uzman. He's in here today. Thanks for being here today, Uzman. It's nice to meet you people here. Best wishes to each and everyone there. Thanks so much. Anyone out there, drop us a comment if you want to get on the screen, and we'll let you know that you're here. We appreciate you listening. Let's keep on going, Kurt.
Let's keep rolling. All right. So what I'm going to do, so Mike Flynn, I'm going to be coming to you in a minute, but before we go there, I want to get Michael to describe, you started giving the origin story as we opened up. And if you, for folks that were just joining us, again, we've got two great entrepreneurs. We've got our dear friend Mike from IMEC, the Illinois Manufacturing Extension Partnership. But Michael, I want to just share a little bit. You touch on, you guys both had great corporate careers. Okay. Damon, this is such a wild story, dude. So Michael, talk to us a little bit. I think maybe it was COVID. You're on vacation with your family. I'm like, the sheer courage that you took to take this leap of faith for your entrepreneurial journey. Just take us there. I'd love for everybody to hear your story.
Yeah. So, like I said, Kevin had kind of planted the seed, or I knew what Kevin was kind of up to. And this is in 2022. So this would be May, June of 2022. And I was successful at my job, but I wasn't totally happy with it, as I alluded to earlier. I knew Kevin had this idea in the works. I didn't know how seriously and how forward he had already had it. So I went on my 4th of July trip up north fishing with the family, and went to a farmer's market, and we ran into it was Hodag Pete was the guy's name. Hodag Pete. And he had like a little roaster, a coffee table set up selling coffee beans from Guatemala, where he had lived, and then he just brought some home and essentially were selling them. And I asked him about what he was doing. He told me I'm working these farmers markets, and he wasn't a highly successful guy, but I kind of mentioned to my wife, hey, this is kind of what Kevin's getting into. He started roasting coffee. I think he's going to do it for real. My wife was like, for real? She's like, I think you should do it with them. And I didn't expect that answer. So I really planted a seed. Kevin had planted a seed, through all his hard work, getting, pushing Heady Cup forward. He had already had the logo done, and he had things in the works. So once my wife gave me that pat on the back, which I normally don't get from the wife, typically, I went home and I marinated or ruminated on it. And like I said, that Monday, returning home from 4th of July trip, which like July 11th-ish, 4th of July was a little later. I think it was like on a Thursday, so you had the long weekend then. I got back on the 11th on the Monday, and walked into my boss's office, told him I was leaving, didn't tell him why. And I had a lot of jobs lined up, and he was like, well, what about the 2 weeks? And I said, you got about 10 minutes. So,
oh my goodness.
I had driven my company car to work. I put my bike in the back of it. I took my bike out and I rode home. So
let that sink in.
But I did. And I went to Kevin's house that night. We literally woke up the next day, started designing the website. So it's been full nonstop ever since. But like I said, Kevin had the thing on the runway, ready to take off. I really joined him, as we were approaching, final ascent, I guess. So.
Like David, let that sink in. Like he drives to work with a company car with his bike in the back, knowing that he needs a bike to get home. Yeah. Like that is such a crazy story, man. And I'll tell you, what a testament to your friendship and the belief that you guys have in each other. Like, like no pressure, Kev, but I'm quitting. I have 3 kids and wife at home, and I'm leaving my job to join your cause. So, all right, Mike Flynn, let's get you on stage. I connected with these guys through IMEC, our dear friends at the Illinois Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Mike, for friends out there that are maybe are not familiar with IMEC or the MEP network, can you please just enlighten everybody who is IMEC and what is the MEP?
That happens when you forget to shut your phone off. So sorry about that. So yeah, so we're the Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center, and we are that for the state of Illinois. We're what's called a Manufacturing Extension Partnership, or MEP. We're a not-for-profit. The Department of Commerce and NIST have established these centers in every state of the country. We're all about small business. So we're working right now with over 30% of the small businesses in Illinois. And our goal is to be the one-stop shop for those businesses and whatever they need. And we've got 6 pillars, we call it, but pretty much anything that a manufacturer needs, small business manufacturer needs in the state of Illinois, we can provide. And great ROI, typically a 19-to-1 ROI, but we have some of our own internal resources. And then we get to partner with great folks like Kurt and others to bring those resources in, just depending on the type of the project that's needed. So I get to meet guys like Mike and Michael and Kevin, but I think I've worked with 100 clients over the last year or so, and it's just always a blessing to be able to come in and help them, achieve more than they really thought they could do. When they started out. So I love to get into closeout meetings and hear the impact of projects, and eyes light up, and it's just an awesome experience. So I love it. So my role is a project manager. So I just kind of try and keep things moving along. That's me.
He's the third base coach. It's like just waving people home, right? Just waving home. Just
I'd
probably send them, Kurt. I'd send them.
He sends them like, hey, do a head first dive. You're going right into home, Mike. And I know long time corporate career, and you just bring a wealth of talent, experience, expertise to the MEP. And that's a great thing about what's going on at IMEC is, they're 50 employees plus, and just, wealth of knowledge, wealth of expertise, and the passion is just off the charts, helping manufacturers like these guys. Mike, we'll dig a little bit deeper. You guys have a new website launch, so we're going to be pulling that up in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's jump down to Kevin. So Kevin, I want to hear your story, dude. Like, what was going on in your life and why coffee, man? I know like you're just so passionate about it, but just share a little bit about what was going on in your corporate career and how did what determined you to take this entrepreneurial leap?
Yeah, sure. So I started roasting coffee almost as a joke. I used to drink so much coffee, like volume wise, that I was just used to joke with my friends, be like, I'm just going to start roasting it myself. I drink so much of it. I'm going to save some money and roast myself. So I went out and I bought a cheap little home roaster, not expecting much, just expecting to like roast some beans for some coffee. I had 2 different origins. There was one from Brazil and one from Ethiopia. And when I roasted them up and I tried them, I was totally floored that they tasted different from one another. Up until that point, I was like a majority of the coffee consumers, unfortunately, that think all coffee kind of tastes the same. So that really opened my eyes to like the possibilities of what else might be out there. And it just led me down just all different kinds of rabbit holes, coffee related, where I just wanted to literally like absorb whatever I could and find out whatever I could about like why those coffees tasted different from one another. But then it just kind of increased the amount of coffee that I was roasting and the different origins that I was experimenting with and trying out. And then like Michael alluded to, I was just servicing like friends and families. I had converted my home office, which previously I was using for my sales job, into like a little home roastery type deal where I was pumping out just like 4 or 5 bags a week or something, nothing crazy. But that's what really kind of led me down the rabbit hole of roasting. So I had always been doing that as a hobby in the background while I was still working my other job as a salesman. But then when COVID hit, like Michael was saying, I was spending a lot more time at home and just kind of like rethinking exactly what I was doing with my life. And I had a good sales career going, but at the same time, I was just completely unfulfilled with it. And the majority of the time, like it just left me feeling anxious and stressed out at the end of the day. So I kind of was at a crossroads where I could either, continue down that path for the rest of my life until I reach retirement and then like maybe try and do something that I actually enjoy doing with my life, or I could just make a jump and gamble and do something that I really love to do maybe for the next couple of years. And, if it doesn't work out at that point, go back out and jump back into the workforce. So we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary, and things are still growing steadily. So that's a great sign. I think it's also important to note that me and Michael's relationship, I mean, we've known each other since we were 12, 13 years old.
Nice.
We've always been extremely competitive, like with one another. We did previously start up a landscape lighting business with one another like 20 years ago. So there is some like business history with us. But I wouldn't have started this company with anyone other than Michael. Just knowing his work ethic and how it was going to work with mine, like honestly, I feel like we can move mountains together. So sending that text to Michael, there was like, I knew it would push him over the edge, but we had been discussing like starting something else up ever since we closed our landscape lighting business together. We didn't necessarily know what it was going to be, but this kind of just fell in line, and the timelines all matched up, and here we are now. So we've expanded too, though. We've got a couple other great guys on the team as well. So like things are going in the right direction. We've brought on some other talent that's accelerated the growth of the company too. But yeah, everything's looking bright for Heady Cup right now.
Wow, absolutely love it. And I tell you, one of the most inspiring things there, you said it like, I could have finished out my corporate career and then got to it someday. And Damon, somebody taught me this line recently. I'd never heard it before. Someday is not a day of the week. And so I just admire, Kevin and Michael just roll up their sleeves, caution to the wind, man, and just jump in. So Michael, let's dive in. I'm going to pull up your website in a couple minutes here. Heady Cup, you guys are very passionate. Like, talk about like what separates you guys from the rest of the pack, other folks doing coffee, a lot of sustainability. You're just let's go there. Talk about your mission.
Yeah, our mission really is to bring the best cup of coffee we can to coffee consumers' mouths, or their palates, for a better term. But with that, we don't want to compromise any of our inherent values as people. So we try to be very altruistic. So whether it's social responsibility at origin, by supporting the communities that grow and harvest our coffees, we also want to be traceable to that origin. So we want to know the farmer that grows our coffee, not just general region. So, for example, we were lucky enough to have a coffee scored very highly this week by a producer in Colombia named Sebastian Ramirez. So like we're very tight to that farmer. Now he knows that we can really roast and showcase his coffee to the masses, to coffee connoisseurs. And we also try to be sustainable. We are sustainable. We recycle used bags if returned to us. We plant a tree for every bag sold, we plant a tree in a coffee growing region. So today we've planted over 5,500 trees in Kenya and in Ethiopia on the along coast guides. These are mangrove plantations, so they really protect against erosion. So we're really making a difference. And we support our communities through charitable efforts, through our time. We support teachers by doing events, in the spring, throughout the year, donating coffee, etc. So we really try through every step of the chain, from sourcing to roasting to, even end-use products like our bag, be sustainable, be traceable, and be socially responsible. And we want to respect the producers. We want to showcase the producers put a lot of hard work into their product.
Yeah.
Growing and coffee is not an easy job. It's a lot of manual labor. It's a very intensive work from start to finish, from growing that cherry to harvesting it. So we want to put in just as much time showcasing it and representing that hard work as best as we can, and showcasing that and often when you do that, when you try to put in as much effort as the producer does, you really taste it in the cup as a consumer, as Kevin's doing now. So, yeah.
Absolutely love it. So, hey, Dave, I'm going to pull up their website. We got a couple comments.
Yeah, we got a couple comments. Kim Lewis stopped by and said, "Good morning, happy Friday."
Kim.
Thanks for stopping by, Kim. We had Martin stopping by. Greetings from Ghana. Thanks for stopping by today, Martin. And Diane Byer with another comment. Thanks, Diane. Know the farmer. I really appreciate that mindset. And that is so cool that you can go right back to the farmer, not just the region, like you said. That person, that family, that village, that's where it came from. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, and Michael totally, completely unapologetic about how dedicated he is to sustainability. I tell you, it's very inspiring. He takes it to a whole different level. So let's grab. Let me grab your website here.
And I've got to imagine those long-term relationships like that really get. I mean, they count. They count when you're doing things like you're trying to do, and a long-term relationship probably means you get their best effort, you get their best products, because they know that you truly appreciate them and appreciate their products.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. It's a mutualistic relationship. They know we're investing in the roast, dedicating as much effort and time as they are to their investing in their micro lot or in their farm, their plantation.
Yeah.
So if they know we're putting in as much work as they are, it's definitely a mutualistic and beneficial relationship for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And consistent. Like, consistency is crucial. Year over year,
Yep.
If I know someone's investing in their farm, investing in their plantation or micro lot, investing in their processes, and they know we're doing the same, we're going to be able to have a consistent product, a consistent cup, year over year, crop over crop.
Mm-hmm.
So, Michael, let's go here. And Damon, all right, dude, first off, take a look at this website. Is this thing absolutely phenomenal or what? Right?
That's cool.
Guess who created this website?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Michael did. Michael created the website on his own, man. Like, this thing is
awesome.
So Mike Flynn, I'll be coming to you in a minute. But when Michael and Kevin reach out to IMEC, they do amazing work helping, as Mike said, thousands of entrepreneurs and manufacturers in Illinois. So we come in and I'm looking at the website. I'm like, dude, what on earth are we going to do for this guy? Like, this thing is fierce. So Michael, talk a little bit about the website. Let's walk through it. I want to talk about your product. Let's take a little tour of the website here.
Sure. So you land on that video of like kind of our production, us in the middle, like a production run there, destoning beans and bagging beans and whatnot. But we have a couple different offerings. So we have our blends and then we have our single origins. So the difference between a blend and a single origin, a blend is a blend of origins. So you could have a Brazilian, Colombian, Guatemalan bean all in one bag, right? And a single origin is just going to be one origin roasted on its own to showcase that origin, that farm, that region on its own. So our single origins are going to be a little more coveted, a little more exclusive, a little more pricey. That Sebastian Ramirez one I was alluding to earlier, right there to your right, Kurt, that got a 97 review rating on Coffee Review, which I believe is the highest review they've given this year to a coffee.
All right, let's give that a round. I'm sorry, I have bad hearing, Michael. What was that number again?
97 out of 100.
So. 97. So, Mike Flynn, I can tell you on my report card, I never got a 97. So let's give a round of applause for Michael and Kevin getting a 97. That is great. And you just got it this week, you said, right?
Yeah, 2 days ago. So
2 days ago.
We haven't even been able to really market it yet. That's how fresh it is. We're still working on our marketing of that, but I can share it on here. So that's the type of single origin beans we get. Very coveted, very, very covered, very talented producers like Sebastian growing the beans. And so that's kind of our single origin menu. Whereas our blend menu is going to be more coveted towards the masses. So you're going to have a light, a medium, a dark roast. That people can appreciate, gravitate towards, however their palate likes their coffee. We have our espresso, which is very popular for people pulling shots. We have a couple cold brew options in can and bag. And then we have a mushroom coffee, which is tremendously popular for people in a more holistic approach to their daily coffee ritual, where they want some of those mushroom extracts to fuel them beyond the caffeine. So we really have something for everybody in terms of coffee, from the high-end coffee connoisseur to a person who just wants an all-day drinking medium roast.
Absolutely. And what we welcome, encourage, invite everybody to do, a couple things here. You've got an opportunity to connect with Kevin, connect with Michael on LinkedIn, of course, connect with Mike Flynn as well. While you're at it, stop by headycup.com. If you're looking for like maybe some great gifts to give to your customers, your clients, what a great idea. If there's any holidays, birthdays, anything around the corner, wonderful opportunity here to surprise family, especially with that 97 grade. You got to throw that in. And of course, you can sign up for their email just to see what the latest and greatest is going on at Heady Cup. So let's talk, Michael, let's talk a little bit about sustainability. Again, like we've got it right here. Anything else that you want to hit that you haven't already covered? You talk about the planting trees. Anything else that you want to mention here?
So in terms of sustainability, besides the bag recycling, I will say on a personal level, I am Illinois District 9 congressional lobbyist. It's a volunteer position. So I go to Washington once a year, and I meet with a congresswoman, my congresswoman, to engage on, lobby. I lobby on behalf of the climate. So I'm the group liaison leader. We grow with like a team of 6, and it's nonpartisan. We're not political in any way. We're volunteers, all of us, and we just really go with our best foot forward, trying to lobby for the best nonpartisan climate bills that are currently in Congress or in the House or being discussed. And then in December, we meet as well virtually, but that's something that I carry with me every day. The sustainability stuff is not a talking point. It's something at the forefront of our minds. Like I said, throughout all of our coffee roasting sourcing processes.
Well, absolutely love it. And while I'm here, Kev, let's get you back on stage. I know you guys do a bunch of events. Anything that you want to share as far as like, you have a storefront, your events like that face-to-face as the roaster, like how rewarding is it when you just see people just really just cherishing your coffee, your masterpiece?
Yeah, so that's honestly what Heady Cup's kind of all about. There's a term in coffee. It's called the aha moment, when I was describing having that Brazil and Ethiopian coffee and just my eyes opening to the different flavors coming off of them. That's something that we get the benefit of showing to customers every weekend when we're out at markets sampling our coffees, and then also when folks stop into our shops. So that's kind of what Heady Cup's all about. We only bring in specialty grade coffee, so we're trying to bring in like the highest quality coffee that a lot of people have ever tasted and will ever taste. And then also the roasting aspect of it too. So we're always trying to fine tune the roasting and bring out the highest or the best attributes of those coffees. So as far as the coffee goes, within our cart, when we have our espresso cart out there, we're always aiming to serve our best espresso. Our nitro cold brew, we think is probably the best out there in the market right now as well. And then our menu, those single origin coffees, we rotate them with the harvest schedule. So you're always going to have the freshest, highest quality coffee available to you.
Excellent. I love it. And I think what a great way for an entrepreneur. A lot of times it's, for introverts, if somebody's introverted, a lot of Mike Flynn, a lot of times encountering entrepreneurs, one of the deficits is, they're manufacturing a wonderful product, but man, they're just not the great getting out there. And I think what I really admire with these guys, they are just relentless getting their product and being out there all over the place. Mike Flynn, let's come to you for a minute. So folks that are joining us, I know we're over the top of the hour. So if you just joined us, we've got Michael Kivland here. We've got Kevin Fogelsong, and they are Heady Cup Coffee Roasters. We're having a great conversation on 2 entrepreneurs just celebrating their 2-year anniversary. We've got Mike Flynn from from IMEC, the Illinois Manufacturing Extension Partnership. That was a mouthful. Mike, I'm going to pull up your website real quick. So for manufacturers like these guys here, a lot of times we're thinking manufacturing, we're thinking metal, we're thinking steel. Like it's food, it's drink, it's coffee, it's all sorts of different. Yep. I mean, pun intended, you deal with all sorts of different flavors of manufacturing. Talk a little bit about what IMEC does. I'm going to pull up your website. I know like you have an extensive menu on how you help manufacturers. Let's go there, please.
Yeah. I'm glad to do that. So we want to be the one-stop shop for small businesses in the state. So, small businesses, just like, Heady Cup's just a great example. I think this is now our 2nd project with them, but they came to us, early on in their journey on a small business. And so we've done a couple things with them. They've been blessed to work with you, Kurt. I always talk about your ecosystem, and you do a project with clients, you bring them into not just the project itself, but, even steps beyond that, and bring them into the ecosystem or other people that'll be interested in helping them or need to be helped. So I love that. So we have, first of all, we have regional managers located around the state. So if a client's interested in working with us, they can get on this website and take a look and find the right regional manager, or you can reach out to me and I can get you plugged in here. So we're over 30% now of the small businesses in the state of Illinois. We do a couple surveys. One is at the end of a project, and one is about 6 to 12 months after a project ends. And we want to know, hey, what was the impact on your business? In terms of increased sales or increased jobs or retained sales, jobs, investments. And so this is just some data, recent data from 2024, but you can see, number of jobs and the number of companies that we assisted, we're up over 3,000 now. So that's over 30% of the state of Illinois small businesses. And then, who can argue with a 19-1 ROI?
Yeah.
And so when clients get exposed and just like Michael and Kevin were to you, and they see the value, then they're going to want to participate more. And we love to partner with those clients and help them. So we can bring resources like you, but we also have other partners out there, and we have our own internal resources too. Sometimes grants are available, other times they're not. But anything a small business needs in those 6 pillar areas, which is on the website, we will do the best that we can to help meet their needs. So yeah, that's us.
Absolutely love it. And all sorts of client success stories. So again, if you're a manufacturer, you're in Illinois, boy, please do yourself a favor. Reach out to Mike, reach out to anybody at IMEC. If you're a manufacturer in another state, you're like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not in Illinois.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? There's a manufacturing extension partnership in your state. I strongly encourage you, invite you, welcome you. Check out your MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. And as Mike said, they do all sorts of just wonderful resources helping manufacturers. Michael, what was your experience? What do you think of IMEC and the team at the MEP in Illinois?
Like Mike said, one-stop shop. I mean, they made everything very easy. Everything they promised, they followed through on. We've had nothing but a success story so far. Like Kurt, you and I had great meetings for the 4 or so months we were together. Helped me along for sure, and that would have never been possible without IMEX, bridging us or bringing us together. So tremendously thankful for IMEC literally granting us a grant and helping us along here, and then looking forward to what we do this next session, because if it's as fruitful as the first one, I'm excited. But I thank IMEC for all that.
Yeah, we've got a lot to, man. These guys are aggressive.
Lots
Damon.
to do.
We've got our work cut out for us here, Mike Flynn. So, all right, Michael, let's go here. As a new entrepreneur, my question for you is, what was one of the biggest surprises as you got into as an entrepreneur? What was something that you really didn't anticipate, didn't expect, anything? And it could be on the upside, like a positive expectation, or maybe a little bit of a bigger challenge. What was one of the biggest surprises that you ran into as an entrepreneur?
I'm not a pessimistic person, but this is going to have a negative slant. I would say, I thought it would be easier than it was to break into like new, either existing cafes or new business would open up faster than it did. And that's probably me being naive as an entrepreneur, as a first timer, because we've had a grind, and like we do have a giant wholesale business now and online business now and presence, but we had to work for it. And looking back, I wouldn't want it any other way now. Yeah. But day one when the gun fired, I thought it would have come a little easier, more natural, and people would have been reaching out to us, not the other way around. But you got to work for it. You got to pavement. You got to make calls. You got to make more calls and hit more pavement. So that's what we've done. But I think day one, I would have said, "Oh, it's going to come to us a little more than it has." And, but like I said, looking back, we've had to cut our teeth. We've developed a lot of skills, having to earn the business the way we have, and we've earned it the right way through good quality product and through good customer service, which is how I want to earn it. I didn't want anything given to us looking back. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, I love it. What and do you feel that your corporate career, like your sales career, do you think that was a huge benefit to you coming in as an entrepreneur?
I do. I think a lot of people that get into these, I wouldn't call this a passion project for Kevin and I, but it's a passion of Kevin's, and it became a project. It became a business. But we both had backgrounds where I was used to cold calling people. I was used to the word no. I was used to following up. I was used to turning that no into a yes. And I was used to treating my customers well, buying them gifts, taking care of their needs, anticipating their needs, things of that nature. And I think sometimes people that get into passion projects may not have that backbone, may not have that customer service background, that willingness to be told no, or that willingness to be yelled at someday, that, all your customers' problems are your fault, etc. So I had that back. I was in construction, so a very aggressive industry, union construction in the city of Chicago, pretty cutthroat job. So I was used to waking up at 5:30, answering difficult phone calls, never was a call at 5:30 in the morning a good phone call. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
You
always
can guess that one's not going to be good.
good news or bad news. So I think with that background, tremendously helpful. I don't know where we would be without it, to be honest. And I think it gives us a leg up on someone who just got into coffee, starting with coffee and only knowing that, or only knowing a cafe, because to me, that's not truly the real world, in my experience.
Yeah, what I really admire about you and Kevin, Michael, is that you guys have if I'm not mistaken, I think like a 4-pronged approach where, and again, for the entrepreneur that wants to open up the retail store and they're great at marketing, let's just get foot traffic, great way to go. You guys are like on the offensive, like you're playing offense, like, baseball, right? Squeeze bunts, suicide squeeze plays. That's like, you're out there with the coffee truck. You're out there knocking on doors. You have a wholesale strategy. Talk a little bit. I love geeking out with you. So Damon, we have our little like rounding the bases exercise, like our singles, doubles, triples, home runs. Just talk about like what does that mean to you? And like what's some singles, doubles, triples, and home runs that we're looking to attack without giving away any secret sauce, but just talk a little bit about these bases that we're trying to attack.
So as Kurt said, a lot of our conversations somehow delved into baseball.
It's all about baseball, man.
So we talked about successes being related to a single, double, triple, home run, Kurt and I. So, and then Kevin, I brought this to Kevin, and we kind of discussed what's a single to Heady Cup. So a single to Heady Cup is like a sale to a new time, small volume cafe, or a new coffee cart, right? A double would be a little higher volume cafe, maybe a country club, maybe a high-end restaurant, high-end cafe that's bringing a little more volume. A triple to us, we discussed, would be like, $1,000 online day, because we do have an online wing to our business. And then maybe a really high volume cafe, or getting a beer done with a brewery, which we've done a couple times. And then a home run would be like 30,000 bag, or excuse me, a grand slam would be a 30,000 bag order, right. Et cetera. Something really exponentially great for the business. And we've had a couple doubles this week with the 97 rating and the online sales that's generated. And then last week, here's a pretty good success story, Kurt. Last week, we had a cafe that we only supplied one blend to, and they had a full menu. So we had one blend out of like 4 blends on their menu. So they had their, we call it the aroma, we'll call it just the Heady roast, right? Heady roast. They had their house roast, and then they had their espresso blend. Well, she had a grinder go down, and she didn't like the bean that this new, or her existing coffee roaster had been sending her. So an employee of mine, Curtis, more than an employee, a right-hand man of mine, Curtis, and I went over to the cafe. We brought her a grinder, and we brought her beans, and they were so busy while we were setting up this grinder and bringing her these new beans, that we looked at her, and she had staff call out sick. So Curtis and I just started working the line, making drinks for her, taking orders, making drinks.
Oh, wow.
High-end cafe.
Yeah.
The next day, we had her full business. I dropped off espresso beans. She got rid of the house roast. So we took over the cafe's entire lineup of beans. And I had been working on her for years. Since we opened, she was one of the first cold calls I made, I got told.
Wow.
And then we got a Heady roast with her. And that was slowly brought on, and then to finally get that business it was a 2-year process. We earned it through hard work. We earned it through our customer service, like I said. So pretty cool success story.
All right. We're gonna take a mic
cool.
when we have these, we call them like moment of silence. We're gonna take a moment of silence, just kind of savor that one.
Yeah.
Man. Drop the mic, Michael. That was phenomenal. A couple of things I wanted for folks out there that maybe you're in a corporate career or you're thinking about your entrepreneurial story. What's a great theme today? Resiliency.
Mm-hmm.
You have to you have to have the thick skin to be immune to the word no, to be a successful entrepreneur. And I love what you did is you stepped in, this woman was in trouble, and you could have just like, hey, here you go. Good luck. I'll see you later. You guys stuck in there. I'm reading the book right now, and you and I are going to be talking about it as we're working together. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality. Unreasonable, mm-hmm. and I strongly encourage Damon. I think everybody should read this book. It has been, that's exactly what you did, Michael. Was unreasonable hospitality, and it probably never even crossed your mind. Like, we can't leave. Like, we have to stay here right now and help this woman, right?
Yeah, and people know us in the community, so they're like, "Is she serving Heady Cup now? Is Heady Cup being served?" So
There you go.
At that point, we were stuck. We were like, oh, we got to give these people what they want.
That's
Yeah.
well, hey,
Yeah.
God bless
That's
you, dude.
You know, the other thing I think about when you talk about how many no's it takes, I actually think being a baseball player helps you because, you know, anyone that's ever played baseball knows that you're going to walk back to that dugout after batting an awful lot before you get a good hit.
That's right. Right. If you strike out 7 out of 10 times,
Yeah.
7 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer, right?
Yes.
It's so that's a good way to look at it. Kevin, let's come at you, man. As you've jumped into entrepreneurship, we're talking about a little bit, some of the challenges. What are some of the things that you're super fired up, excited about? Like what you jump out of bed every morning. Let's go there. What has you fired up as you're moving forward?
The opportunity, honestly, to serve our community with a new experience, something they've never had before, and bringing the best coffee they've ever had to them. So previously I lived in Chicago, so I had the opportunity to visit some local cafes and roasters where I was able to have that kind of experience. Where we're located right now is kind of a specialty coffee desert. So this community, for a lot of people, it's their first experience tasting some like really high end, really impactful coffees. So that's what gets me going every day, is just knowing that that's what we're pumping out of this place. And again, that's been justified just within this last week. We've got some national recognition on one of our coffees that's really given us the confidence to go out there and really tout like, hey, this is the best coffee you guys are ever going to have. And we honestly believe that. So getting up every day and getting to work towards that and getting to work on that is what gets me going every day for sure.
Awesome, man. I tell you what, when you have your dream come to reality, get this business off the ground, man, you just must be absolutely thrilled. Father to be, what an exciting time. Mike Flynn, what a privilege it is for you to have a front row seat working with, like you said, hundreds of manufacturers. Your thoughts, your takeaways. We'll start winding down here. What are your thoughts on working with Heady Cup here?
Well, it's just, anytime we can help anybody, it's just fantastic. You talked about perseverance, Kurt, but the other thing that I think is really important, it came out in this hospitality thing. It's about relationships, right? Mm-hmm. It's about knowing people that you can tap into and can be tapped into for others, right? Mm-hmm. It's about relationships, and you set that up here with what you do at B2Btail. Other partners of ours do the same thing, but it just, Michael and Kevin are just leveraging you and that expertise, the ecosystem I talked about before. Mm-hmm. But it's really about just knocking those walls down, taking steps forward, having a vision for where you want to go, and then just be enabled along that vision by people that can help you. So, mm-hmm. And they're doing it right. 2 years, right? And we've done a couple projects with them already, and we want to do 20 more with you guys.
Right. So, all right, we're going to start. I could keep you guys here all day. You've got mouths to not feed, but to service, right? And so we want to get you guys going. Michael, as we're coming in, great way to connect with you. Again, we're getting you cooking on LinkedIn. You guys are on social. Go to your website. Any other places that folks can find you to connect with you?
Instagram, YouTube, all the normal channels we're on. Our website. Email, you bother me, you call me, anything, I'll answer. My phone works, as I say, Kurt. So
that's great.
My phone still works. A lot of the society's phones doesn't work anymore, but I still answer my phone. So you can find Heady Cup literally anywhere in our local community out here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. We try to be everywhere at once, to Kevin's chagrin sometimes, but we stay busy, and online, like I said, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that. Is where probably the best places to find us. LinkedIn, as Kurt said, Kurt's got me on LinkedIn. I'm building that out. We're going to have way more of a presence on LinkedIn here in the next couple of weeks. I've been dedicating myself, Kurt, as you wanted me to mastering the LinkedIn domain. So I would say for folks on here, that's a great spot to start checking, refreshing Heady Cup, Michael Kivland's page for any Heady Cup news here in the next couple of weeks.
Excellent. And hey, Damon, we got a couple comments we'll pull up real quick. And then
I
got 2 last questions for the guys. We're going to go around the horn. So go ahead.
Yeah, we got Pavan stopped by. He said, this Friday has been eventful with engaging conversations. Delighted to have watched your live. Well, thank you, Pavan, for giving us that awesome comment and stopping by. Diane Byer dropped in once again. Thank you so much, Diane. IMEC, love our MEPs. Yes, we do, Diane. They're out there helping these manufacturers day in and day out compete and do better. Thanks, Diane and Pavan, for dropping those comments. Kurt, let's get going here.
All right, two rapid fire questions. I'm
Yep.
going to go around the horn, and this time they will be the same questions. So, Michael, I'll start with you, my friend. Michael, best business advice that you've ever received that you'd like to pass along to folks as you've got this business off the ground for 2 years. Best business advice that you want to pass along.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to stick with the advice that I use personally too. You don't climb the mountain, you are the mountain. So that's my favorite.
Hear that one more time.
You don't climb the mountain, you are the mountain.
Yep.
Don't climb the mountain. All right, let's savor that one for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, my friend, I'm coming at you. Best business advice that you've received that you would like to pass along to folks.
Yeah, I don't think it's nothing groundbreaking, but it tried and true. Treat every customer like they're your only customer. You know, ultimately they end up being your best advocates, and they end up doing a lot of the marketing and advertising for you if you treat them right. So that's something that we try to do is people drop in here. We try to definitely like take them through the shop and make sure that everyone feels welcome in here, and then obviously give them the best product too to keep them coming back. But that's something that I've always lived by, and again, I think it's a tried and true method to stand by.
Phenomenal advice, David. Hey, Harry's dropped a note here.
Yeah, Harry dropped another comment. Or Harry, thanks so much. He said, "Great show, lots of great mic drops, pun intended." And Kevin, congratulations. As a father of two, Harry is. Being in coffee will serve you well. Yeah, you're going to learn what no sleep starts to really look like. You might have thought that when you were younger, but you have no idea until you go through that.
That's right. Coffee will serve you very well. My friend Mike Flynn, how about, can you share with folks best business advice that you've ever received that you'd like to pass along?
I'm going to share two. One is the customer may not always be right, but the customer is the customer. So we have to have a service attitude, right, in meeting their needs, and you get that relationship and establish a moment of trust. The other one is progressive improvement beats postponed perfection. So sometimes we just slow down and don't move forward, just like what Kevin shared and Michael. You know, they moved forward, right, and look what's happening now. So that's just a couple.
Those are awesome.
Stagnant water, rust pipe. You know, that's what you got to keep it moving.
Man, that was all right. Drop the mic there, Mike Flynn. That was awesome. Drop the Mike Flynn, Damon. How's that? Drop the Mike Flynn. So, all right, my last question. We're going to close things out. Being baseball fans, Michael, I'm coming at you. You know, should I go to Ken? I'll go to Michael. I'm going to Michael. So, all right, being baseball fans that you are, and there's a funny backdrop to these guys, and I'll see if it ties in with this question. So, Michael, I have a hypothetical for you. Okay, just a hypothetical. Now, are you a Cubs guy or are you Sox?
I'm Cubs. Kevin's Cardinals. So it's.
Oh, we got all right.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
all right. So, Michael, I'm coming at you. Ready? Okay. So the Cubs are playing the Cardinals. The Cubs are playing the Cardinals. It's a bottom of the ninth, home game.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
There's a guy on second base. Okay, guy on second. Hey, Aaron Reed's here. Damon, grab that.
Yeah,
comment.
Aaron dropped a comment here. Thanks so much, Aaron. All good pieces of advice. The smiley face. Thanks for stopping by today, Aaron.
Man, she was just on the show 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Mike Flynn. She's with the Rhode Island MEP, Claris. She was phenomenal. So, okay. So we asked Aaron, I think, this question. So, Michael, Cubs are playing the Cardinals. Bottom of the ninth, there's a guy on second base. Okay. Tie score. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, guy on second base. We need the winning run. Okay. Manager looks down the bench and says, "Hey, Michael, grab your helmet, grab your bat, get to the plate, hit in the winning run." You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Grab your helmet. You grab your bat, you're walking to the plate. As you walk to the plate, what's your walk-up song?
Protect Your Neck by the Wu-Tang Clan.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to do that. So, all right, Michael, tell these guys why. How I think there's a little history with the Wu-Tang Clan between you two, right?
Yeah, well, we met over love of Wu-Tang Clan. I think we both ditched school to buy the Wu-Tang album. So that's how.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the reason I answer that's my son's walk-up song.
That's your son's walk-up
Nice.
song?
Well, that's his walk-up song. And the day he changed that walk-up song, he hit his first home run.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That would forever be my walk-up song going forward. So, yeah.
That is hysterical. Kevin, what's your walk-up song, my friend?
I'm just going to go like a classic Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck.
That's a good one.
AC/DC, nice.
That's a good
Okay. Well, all right. So we got Wu-Tang, we got AC/DC, Mike Flynn. You're walking to the plate, hitting that winning run. What's your walk-up song, my friend?
You know, when I was playing baseball, we didn't have walk-up songs because the transistor radios couldn't get loud enough, right?
Same here. Yeah.
I love music, but I also honestly wouldn't be a song. I'd be praying to myself. Yeah. So, yeah.
Good answer.
Sorry, don't have a walk-up song.
Yeah.
All right. Just saying a simple prayer on the way to the plate. So awesome. All right. So we've got AC/DC, we've got Wu-Tang, we've got a little prayer on the way to the plate. So guys, thank you for playing my little game. So all right, we're gonna wind down. And so first off, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed panel here today. How about a big round of applause for Michael, for Kevin, for Mike Flynn. So again, do us a favor, connect with these guys on LinkedIn. Go to Heady Cup Coffee. Drop grab your credit card. Just buy a friend. Just
buy some coffee.
Buy a loved one. Somebody you went to high school with. Somebody you played Little League with. 30, 40 years ago. Buy them a little coffee. Connect with your local MEP. Again, we've got Aaron here from the MEP. Damon, she dropped another note here.
Aaron? Thanks for the other comment. Second comment you dropped. That is incredible commitment to your customer. Thanks so much, Aaron, from dropping the comment. We will. Yeah. Good stuff.
All right, so we're going to wind down. So, Michael, thank you. Kevin, thank you. Mike Flynn, thank you. Connect with these guys on LinkedIn. Check out their websites. And, Damon, we'll close this out. And I just want to say, go out there and just be someone's inspiration, just like these guys, and you will make the world a better place, just like they're doing on a daily basis. Damon, I'm going to ask Michael, Kevin, Mike Flynn, hang out with us for a second. But, Damon, why don't you go ahead and close us out?
All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here today. Everyone drop in the comments. We appreciate you being here. Love it when you drop the comments and we can show them on screen. We can share them with the people, share your thoughts, share your questions, ask the people. So much fun for us to be able to interact like that when we're having the shows. If you came in on this late, you want to go back to the beginning, watch it all the way through because there's tons of great stuff from Michael and Kevin and Mike from IMEC. Michael from Heady Cup, Kevin from Heady Cup. And last but not least, you want to make sure to go to headycup.com and get yourself some of that good coffee. They just got one that listened to this show. They got one that was rated 97 on the coffee rating. I don't even know who did it, but if it's rated 97, if it's anything like wine, you need to get there and get some of that. But thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate you, even if you didn't comment today. Thanks. We'll be back again next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.